Making an absolutely killer sub, bud. We got this thing loaded up with cured meats. We stuffed it all in our own Italian herb and cheese bread. We're gonna get to that. And of course we made our own pickles and sub sauce. Stick around. What's up everybody? I'm Graham. Today we're talking hot Italian subs. Obviously if we're going to be making killer subs, we're going to need some killer bread. We're going to be making our own Italian herb and cheese bread because let's be honest, it's the best bet. It's the best option Subway's got. If you're not into bread making, I'll leave some chapters down below. Skip it and let me know people aren't interested in this as well. But make sure you stick around to the end. You meet me right back here. We're going to taste test this bad boy.
To start my bread, to a mixing bowl I'll add half a tablespoon of yeast, 156 grams of room temperature water, and half a teaspoon of sugar. Then I'll set that aside for about 10 minutes. While that's doing its thing, I'll grab 260 grams of Like I was saying, I'll grab 258 grams of unbleached all-purpose flour, to which I'll add half a tablespoon of kosher salt, half a tablespoon of white sugar, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, half a teaspoon of dried basil, and 2 cloves of garlic that I've grated on a microplane. And when my yeast mixture is nice and foamy on top, I'll dump in my flour mixture, along with 2 tablespoons of oil and 2 tablespoons of milk. Then I'll mix that together on low speed, just until it forms a bit of a smooth dough. Then I'll grease up a bowl, plop my dough in, cover it with a wet towel, and throw it in a cold oven that has the light on. This is going to give us just a little bit of warmth to help it rise a little bit faster. After about 30 minutes, I'm going to take my dough back out, and then using wet hands I'm going to grab the edge and stretch it up and lay it back down on top of itself. I'll do this with the other 3 sides, and then I'll just bring the rest of the edges in so it forms a nice top ball. Then I'll recover that and toss it back in the oven to keep rising. I'm going to do this stretch and fold 3 more times for 2.5 hours rising in total. Then I'll dump my dough out on a floured surface, cut it into 4 equal pieces, which I'll then stretch into rough rectangles and fold letter style in 3. I'll set these aside, dust them lightly with flour, and cover them with a dry towel just to sit and rest for about 10 minutes. Then I'll flip them seam side up again, stretch them back into rough rectangles again, and then using my long side, I'm going to fold each side in towards the middle, and then fold those 2 sides on top of each other, and gently pinch the seam together. And give this a little roll too if it helps. Then I'll transfer it to a floured baking sheet, and set it aside for about 1 hour, covered to proof, preheating my oven to 450 degrees when the proofing time is nearly up. Just before I toss them in the oven, I'll take my dullest knife possible and ruin all of that hard work. If you don't have a sharp enough knife for this, just don't bother, they're still going to turn out perfectly soft and delicious. And don't take your good knife camping. I'll bake those for 10 minutes, at which point I'll spray them with some pan spray, sprinkle them with some oregano, and hit them with some finely grated Parmesan cheese. Then I'll stick them back in the oven for 8 more minutes, and we've got beautiful Italian herb and cheese loaves, even though I did kind of mess them up.
Alright, now I know that not everybody's into pickles on sandwiches. Some people might not be into pickled onions especially. But with all this salty, fatty, cured meat, it's really going to go a long way into improving our sub if we can cut through some of that fat and salt with some nice sharp acidity. On top of that, making it ourselves allows us to season it however we like to make it suit what we're eating, which is especially beneficial because when we go to make our sub sauce, it's basically just vinegar and oil put together with some seasoning. So if we already have nicely seasoned vinegar to start with that tastes exactly how we want it to taste, we can build an awesome sub sauce out of that with very little additional effort.
To a small pot, I'll add 1 cup of water, half a cup of white vinegar, 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar, half a teaspoon of whole black peppercorns, 1/4 teaspoon of fennel seeds, 1/4 teaspoon of thyme, half a teaspoon of dried oregano, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground coriander. I really like whole coriander for this, but I didn't have any. Go easy on this. Then I'll throw that on the stove and add 3 cloves of crushed garlic. While that's coming to a boil, I'll slice 2 hot Hungarian peppers. These are a bit hotter than banana peppers, but my grocery store didn't have banana peppers. Smooth. Didn't hit the floor at all. And I'll also slice half a small red onion. This onion was a bit big, 80 grams. When my brine is boiling, I'll pour that over top, and that's it. We're just going to make sure everything's mixed up and covered, and then we're going to let this sit for an absolute minimum of half an hour.
Alright, now I did those pickles yesterday. As with anything pickled, you do them a bit ahead, they're going to turn out better. But after they've cooled down a little bit, maybe about an hour, I transferred them into this plastic container. Don't store things that are acidic in metal. It's not good for the flavor, and there's also a good chance that it's not good for you if you leave it stored there for too long.
To make my sub sauce, I'll take about a quarter cup of that pickle juice. Then I'll add half a teaspoon of marjoram, grate a clove of garlic in, about a quarter teaspoon of Dijon to help emulsify. Then I'm going to take a kitchen towel and I'm going to make a little nest for this bowl. This is going to make it so I can whisk this with one hand without it flying all over the place. Then I'm just going to slowly stream in about half a cup of oil, whisking while I do it to make sure that it fully emulsifies and comes together as a vinaigrette. Then I'll transfer that into a squeeze bottle for later and stick it in the fridge. If you make this a bit ahead and you notice that it's starting to separate a little bit, you can just give this a little shake and it'll emulsify back together. Alright, now the time has come. We're going to build this bad boy. There's really no right or wrong way to go about this, but generally, I'll start with meats and cheeses. You can use just about any of your favorites. For myself, I chose a little Genoa for some heat. Then I added some prosciutto because it's one of my absolute favorites. Next I threw some capicola on there. It's a bit traditional for Italian subs. And last but not least, I had some bison salami kicking around that I picked up at the market last week, and I threw a little bit of that on there too. Then I added a few slices of provolone cheese. You could substitute with mozzarella or Swiss if you wanted, and tossed it in the oven under the broiler on low just to melt the cheese. If you made your bread a day ahead, I'd recommend turning the oven on to 350 so that you can get a good crisp on that bread as well. Then once my cheese is nice and melted and ready to hold on to something, I'll add my pickles and some thin slices of tomatoes that get seasoned. Don't cut these into steaks. Nobody wants that. Bust out your bread knife if you have to. Then I'll top all that off with a healthy portion of shredded lettuce, because hey, something's got to hold on to our last component, that delicious, delicious sub sauce we made.
Alright, now this right here is the secret to keeping all that goodness in the bread, right? If you try and fit that whole thing in your face, half it's going to drop in your lap. You put it together like this, you wrap it nice and tight, it's going to keep it all together. You go to take a bite, nothing's going anywhere. Nothing's sliding out. Even after you take it out of the wrap, nothing is moving. Let's get into this thing. Oh buddy, that's a mouthful. Dude, that's a killer sandwich. Of course, you got all that salty, fatty meat. The prosciutto-y goodness is in there. It surprisingly really comes through. The Genoa kind of kicks a little in the back. Those pickled peppers, they start off a little hot if you don't let them sit, or if you just try to eat them by themselves, of course. But one layer of those pickled peppers in a sub like this with a little bit of that extra sub sauce, absolutely money. The bread is just so perfectly soft. It's just the perfect absorbent material for all of this flavor from the pickles, all this flavor from the sub sauce. But because we're using fresh, it's also got just that right amount of crunch. But just on the outside, it's not going to squish all of your sandwich all over the place. It's perfect. Alright, that is it for this one. If you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, go hit the like button. Let me know in the comments if you try any of this. Be sure to consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Friday, and we're going to be doing a whole lot more like this because that is fucking delicious. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.